All right, let's dive into one of the biggest, most mind-bending mysteries out there, consciousness itself. We're going to explore a truly wild new theory that tries to connect the fundamental physics of our universe with the simple feeling of being you. So think about it for a second. You look at a cup of coffee. Your brain doesn't feed you a list of data points like brown, hot, aromatic. Nope, you just experience coffee. It happens instantly, all is one complete thing. How on earth does your brain pull off that magic trick and so incredibly fast? You know, that simple question is actually one of the deepest, toughest problems in all of science. So here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll look at this instant reality problem. Then we'll talk about the brain's speed limit and why the old models just don't cut it. After that, we'll get into the new quantum answer, see how scientists are actually trying to test it, and then we'll explore what all this could mean for the future. Okay, let's kick things off with section 1, the instant reality problem. This is all about the absolutely baffling speed of your own perception. You know, every single moment of your life feels like a perfectly produced movie. The audio is always perfectly synced with the video, your thoughts seem to line up with your actions, everything just flows together. We totally take it for granted, but for scientists trying to figure it out, this seamless unity is a massive puzzle. So, why is it such a puzzle? Well, that brings us right to our second section, the brain's speed limit. This is the point where our traditional idea of the brain as just some kind of biological computer really starts to fall apart. And this right here shows you the huge disconnect. On the left, you've got the old model. The brain is a computer, chugging along, processing info piece by piece by piece. But on the right, that's your actual experience. It's instant, it's holistic, everything happens at once. The classical model is just way too slow to explain what's happening in your head right this second.
Now, this challenge actually has a name. It's called the binding problem. Let's go back to that coffee cup. Different parts of your brain are handling the color, other parts are handling the shape, the smell, the heat. The binding problem is the mystery of how all those separate signals get bound together into one single cup of coffee experience in the blink of an eye.
So here's the bottom line. If your brain actually had to calculate and then stitch together every little piece of reality, bit by bit, you'd notice a lag. It would feel like a badly dubbed movie. But you don't. So what's going on? What's the missing piece of the puzzle that makes consciousness so unbelievably fast? And this, my friends, brings us to our third section, in a truly radical new idea. Let's call it the quantum spark. Okay, prepare for a complete change in how you think about this. This new hypothesis says, hey, maybe the brain isn't working like a computer at all. What if it's not calculating the answer step by step? What if it's using the bizarre, strange rules of quantum mechanics to just collapse into the most efficient, correct answer instantly? Yeah, it's a totally different way of thinking about how our minds actually work. The official scientific term for this is quantum optimization. But really, instead of brute forcing the problem by checking every possibility, the theory suggests our brain uses quantum weirdness to find the single best interpretation of all that sensory data, all at once. It's like finding a secret shortcut through reality. And this is the perfect way to picture the difference. A classical computer is like trying to find the lowest valley on a mountain by measuring every single inch of it. It's super slow, super tedious. But the quantum brain? It's like pouring water on top of that mountain. The water doesn't need to calculate anything, it just naturally and instantly flows down to the lowest point, the path of least resistance. That lowest point represents the most stable, coherent interpretation of reality. I mean, this quote from the research is just fantastic. It suggests that the very feeling of being aware, you know that click when you finally get something? That's the physical sensation of your brain's network just settling into this perfect, optimized quantum state. Consciousness isn't a calculation, it's a state of physical balance. Okay, so this is an absolutely fascinating idea, right? But how on earth could you possibly test it? Well, that moves us to our fourth section, testing the quantum brain. Let's see how scientists are trying to take this from a cool theory to an actual simulation. Here's the problem. We can't just stick a probe into someone's brain and watch these quantum effects happen. It's a fundamental rule of quantum mechanics. The very act of observing a quantum system actually changes it. So the next best thing is to build a computer model, a simulation of neurons that are forced to obey the exact mathematical rules of quantum optimization. It lets us see if the math of the theory lines up with the reality of how a brain works. And here's basically how they'll know if they're onto something. They're going to have a showdown, a standard AI model versus their new quantum-inspired hybrid model. They'll be watching to see if the quantum model is faster, if it can hold a coherent thought the way we can focus, and if it can just intuitively handle messy real-world data without freaking out. If the hybrid model wins, well, that's a huge point in favor of the theory.
So let's just play this out. Let's say the tests work. What then? Well, this brings us to our final section, the future of consciousness, and honestly, why this could change just about everything. For literally centuries, science has had the physics of the material world over here and the psychology of our subjective minds way over there, with this giant uncrossable canyon between them. This theory, this could finally be the bridge. It's suggesting our minds aren't just running on the universe's hardware, they're running with its most fundamental quantum software. And if that's true, the implications are just staggering. We're talking about a whole new era of quantum biology, for starters, but also a complete revolution in AI, moving past simple data processing towards machines that could have genuine perception. And ultimately, this could be the path to finally unlocking the code of awareness itself. This leads to a whole new concept, neuromorphic quantum AI. Think about an AI that doesn't just recognize a coffee cup in a photo, but could, in theory, integrate all the data into a single unified idea of a coffee cup. That's the huge leap from just processing information to actually perceiving it. It's a total game changer. So I'll leave you with this final thought to chew on. The next time you have that sudden flash of insight, that aha moment, where everything just clicks perfectly into place, just ask yourself, are you just thinking? Or did your brain just momentarily collapse into a state of quantum perfection? This incredible insight is brought to you by the Varia One platform. If you believe in protecting not just lives, but minds, hit that like button and subscribe for more breakthroughs. Dive deeper into the research and explore more on the Varia One platform. See you there!